Hey everyone, I am Magnus and welcome back to my channel. Alright, so let's get on with today's video. Did I even say that right? With today's video? Okay, so let's get on to with today's video. So as you can tell by the title, we're going to be talking about drawing in energy and releasing energy. Now, these are just a couple terms that, depending on what path you follow, depending on what sources and sites and books and stuff that you read, you may hear these terms quite frequently, and then again, you may not. But it's more, in my opinion, about the processes, because regardless of the terms, we actually use these processes a lot in different ways. So I just wanted to touch up on them, so in case you hear these terms, you kind of have a better idea or understanding of what they mean or could possibly mean to you. So yeah, anyway, let's just go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is drawing in energy. Now, drawing in energy is something that we pretty much do with every single working. Now, technically, you don't really have to, I guess. We ourselves are full of energy and we can use our own energy in the working. But in a previous video or two, maybe even three, I've mentioned that I suggest not doing that, just because using too much of your energy can really cause you to be exhausted and tired and cause other physical sort of ailments, headache, nausea, dizziness, things like that. So drawing in energy is great. And what is drawing in energy? It's basically taking energy from around you, below you, above you, anywhere from any other source, and bringing it into your space for a magical working. Essentially, that's what it is. So how can you go about drawing in this energy? Now, I did also touch up on this a bit with grounding and kind of centering a bit in that video. Grounding is a great way to kind of draw in energy from the earth, so you're not just using your own. And the earth is a great place, a great way, a great source to get energy from. It's almost limitless, it's so much energy there, and it's quite accessible, just right there below your feet. So but you can also do draw in energy in other ways. So energy exists around us in so many forms. I mean, just simple as you getting a phone call, that was an energy right there that you couldn't see. It was a vibration, a frequency that you couldn't see. So in your magical workings, another way to create, or not necessarily create, but to draw in energy and to get more energy within your circle, your space, or for your working, would be to raise the vibrations around you. What that does is that kind of loosens and dislodges these energies, allowing them more access, or much more accessible for you to get into your space or your working, to draw them in for that. So a couple of different ways that you can kind of raise these vibrations is through movement and through sound. Movement, it's easy, simple as rocking, waving your arms. You can dance. Please don't make fun of my dancing, okay? Just, but anyway, you can do whatever you want. Like do just a little shuffle. You can go around and just a walk, simple walk. You can any kind of little movement that's repetitive, especially, is great for raising these vibrations and loosening these energies around you, or dislodging them. Also, people have these, those little incense things that are like on a chain, and have, it's a little ball or something, like a little copper thing, and there's an incense inside, and it smokes out, and they swing it back and forth. Something as simple as that. If you love to or if, not just if you love to, but if you're able to burn incense in your home or something like that, even if you put a piece of charcoal in there and you have some resins or some dried herbs and stuff on there, that movement can also help raise those vibrations and loosen and dislodge those energies around you. Another way to do that, to raise these vibrations and these frequencies, is by sound. Sound is used like all the time in ways that you don't even realize it's being used. Like right now, I'm using sound, my voice. You know, that's why a lot of times depending on the ritual or spell, you'll see that a lot of times they kind of rhyme. It's because it allows them to kind of be more, just easier to repeat, to be more repetitive. So if you want to repeat it over and over and over, each time you say it, each time you repeat it, you're raising those vibrations, raising those frequencies. So that's why sometimes it's like, say this, or recite this 3 times. Sometimes say recite it 3 or more times, or 6 or more times. And that's because they're allowing you the opportunity to basically raise more energy in the process. So you don't have to stop there. If you feel the need to go, if they say 3 or more and you want to recite it 20 times because that's what you feel, that's the energy that you feel you're putting into it, or the amount of energy you put into it, then do it 20 times, But sound isn't really necessarily the only way. I'm not sound, but like vocalizing or speaking or chanting or whatnot. You can also use, how they have those little, please forgive me, I do not know what they're called right now. There's little bell or little symbol things like the little Tibetan things they have on their fingers. It's like little symbols and they make a little noise. Things like that, the little sound bowls, a bell, anything like that as well can raise those vibrations and frequencies. And also when it comes to sounds like that, if you play an instrument, music, if you want to play some kind of music and move around, or not move, you don't have to, you can sit, but that will also help you raise those frequencies and vibrations and help kind of dislodge those energies. And so then once you're kind of comfortable with how much energy you're drawing in, and you feel the process is working for you, you can start, programming this energy for its intent, for its purpose. Now, some people will believe that they're programming it as they're dislodging it or as they're drawing it in. Some people believe they program it after the fact. That's on you. That's on your practice, what you believe, how you feel it does. I'm going to kind of explain it as, you're kind of programming or charging it for its intent after the fact. So once you've got to that point, to where you feel like you've drawn in enough energy for your space, then you program that energy, you charge it for its intent. This can be something simple as speaking it out loud. It can be something like writing it down on something. You can use your emotions to kind of charge it, I guess, to program it. It's really up to you on how you program that energy for your intent, for your purpose. More often than not, I know people tend to use emotion because emotion is one of the strongest and easiest forms or ways to program it, to charge an energy for intent, for a purpose. Because it's so accessible, it's so raw, it's just there. We're not forcing ourselves to feel it, forcing ourselves to do it. It just happens naturally. We feel it, we put it into it, bam, it's done. So emotion is a great way, but you can also verbalize intent. You can also, like I said, you can write a petition down somehow, on something, parchment or paper or whatever, and burn it or put it into your offering bowl or whatever the case may be. And that might be a way to charge the energy for you. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, once you've drawn in that energy and it's efficient, it's charged, it's programmed, is releasing that energy. Now, some people will say release. You may not hear this term releasing. It may be imbue that energy or put that energy somewhere. I actually say release and imbue because it depends on the type of working that I'm doing. So, for example, if I'm doing a spell work or ritual of some kind, and I don't have a physical totem or effigy or something like that of someone or something, and I'm sending the energy out into the universe to do its working, like only into the universe to do its working, like that, then I may want to, that would just be releasing the energy to me. That'd be my form of releasing the energy. Then, if I wanted to, on the other hand, instead of doing that, if I wanted to actually put that energy into something, into like an effigy or into a candle for a working, like if I was doing some kind of candle magic, then I would imbue that item with that energy. That's another way that you could, kind of release per se. And for the candle, for example, as you light the candle and it burns down, as it's burning, the energy that you put into it is released through that flame. And so as it burns, that energy is constantly being released. So the more energy you imbue into a candle, the more potency it will have. And also, the longer the candle will burn, because that means the more energy the candle has to burn in itself. So the longer the candle burns, the more energy you put into it, the more potency you'll have. But so imbuing is another way to kind of release that energy. So other than the imbuing process, how can you release it into the universe, right? There are so many different ways. A way that I do it, you will hear me talk about this all the time, is vocalizing. I vocalize a lot of things. It helps me kind of just sort of stay focused, I guess. It helps me keep my intent, well, I'm about to repeat myself, my focus, So I like to say, so mote it be, or as above, so below, or something similar. Efficaciator est is a Latin phrase I learned a long time ago in high school when I actually took Latin, and technically it means behold, it is done. That's another phrase that I like to use, because to me, in that moment, when I say whatever phrase or whatever words I use, I'm pushing the release of it with my voice. The energy of my voice, I'm pushing it out, for it to do its purpose. Now, again, there are different ways people do it. Some people may do a visualization process and may hit a gong or a drum or something, and that sound may be what they use to kind of push and release that energy into the universe where it's working. Now, one thing I do want to mention when I'm talking about drawing in energy and releasing energy and whatnot, I believe I mentioned it in two of my videos, the grounding and centering video and the visualization and energy manipulation. But anytime you're doing any kind of working and you're working with energy, make sure, first of all, that you have a protective space. I don't want to necessarily just say a circle. Some people may not necessarily cast circles, but they do kind of consecrate or purify and cleanse their magical space, whether it's an altar area or maybe a bedroom, who knows, whatever it is. I suggest you cleanse that and have your barriers up, your energy barriers up, your protections around, whatever it is. And I also suggest that you do a minor, whether you want to go into like a meditation or a grounding and centering kind of state, basically not just release, but get rid of any excess energy that might be left around. Excuse me. Any kind of residual energies that might be left. That's something, even though it may be, a very positive, uplifting working, excess energy just kind of lying around isn't something that you really want. It can cause little irritations or little issues around, and I'm not one to say exactly what those things can be because it will vary so drastically. I really wouldn't even want to begin. There are plenty of videos out there, plenty of people who will, I guess, kind of explain it more for you, as to why these lingering energies can be bad. But Anyway, one example that I will give just personally is that I feel those lingering energies can taint or manipulate other workings that you may do, that I may do. So that's one reason I get rid of them. But anyway, so there's a lot of reasons why it's good to get rid of those energies. So that is something also that I suggest after you finish your working, is to make sure you either cleanse or purify your space again, or make sure you do a kind of grounding and centering to draw in any excess energies and to release them down into the earth. So that's just kind of my thoughts on that. Anyway, so I think I kind of got most everything across that I wanted to get across when it comes to working a little bit more with energy, when it comes to drawing in and releasing energy and whatnot. Now, there will be plenty of other terms you hear out there when it comes to energy and working with energy. I try not to get too hung up on terminology. I do speak about it a lot, and I do give definitions of stuff, but that way it's just for you to kind of get an idea, a starting point, and maybe give you an idea of, you know, some sources or something that you may want to look at. That gives you, again, repeating myself, a starting point. But anyway, thanks for sticking around. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this was enlightening in some kind of way. Hope it gave you a little bit of information. Feel free to give me a like, subscribe. Please leave a comment. I do like to know how I'm coming across in these videos. I did kind of change how I wanted to do these. I didn't want to come across as a mentor or a teacher or anything like that. I kind of felt like I was. I was definitely getting a lot more distracted when I was doing it that way. So I just want to make sure that when I talk about it now that, I'm getting my point across. So anyway, again, thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed. Again, please give me a like, subscribe, hit that little notification thing so you can kind of keep up to date on new videos. I have been a bit busy lately. I've started a new business and selling crafts and paintings and stuff like that, and I started selling them this past weekend, which I had to rush to get some things done. And so for about the past 2.5 weeks, I've been really thrown off, but I am back on track. So I will see you soon. Again, thanks for sticking around. Take care. Have a wonderfully beautiful day or night, wherever it is you are in the world. And like I always say, take care, stay safe, be kind, but don't take any shit. All right, later.